Hi, Assalamualaikum everyone. I hope you are in a good condition. My name is Muhammad Irfan Danish bin Mat Nasir. Welcome to my class. Today, I'm going to review about two chapters, which is chapter 6 and chapter 7. Right now, I will review about chapter 6 first. Before I go detail about chapter 6, we have to know that a dollar we receive today is worth more than a dollar we receive in the future. Why we have to understand this topic? If we understand this topic, we can enable to understand how shares and bonds are valued, and we can also determine the value of a new project. Time value of money divided into two, which is present value and future value. What is present value? Present value is the value today of a sum of money to be received in the future. This can be referred to as a discounting. If you see annual rate of return in equations, it refers to a discount rate, required return, cost of capital, or opportunity cost. And then we move to a future value. Future value refers to the amount of money an investment will grow to over some period of time at some given of interest rate. It will grow because of compounding interest. Compounding is the process of accumulating interest on an investment over time to earn more interest. As you can see besides, there are examples of present value and future value equations. You can try it yourself using financial calculator. Next is annuities. Annuity is a stream of equal value cash flows over a specific period of time. These cash flows are usually annual but may also have other intervals, for example, monthly and maybe inflow or outflows. There is two types of annuities. An ordinary annuity, which means cash flow occur at the end of each period. Second one is annuity due, is cash flow occur at the beginning of each period. As you can see on the picture, there are an example of the equations and you can try it yourself using financial calculator. Lastly, this is a diagram of the difference between compounding and discounting periods. That's all about chapter 6. Next, we move to chapter 7. The topic is working capital management. This topic is about the day-to-day decision regarding investment in current assets and how these assets are to be financed. This will affect a firm's risk and share price. Working capital management involves an appropriate level and mix of current assets and current liabilities. It also involves risk of return, trade-off amount of current asset, and source of financing, which means low level of current asset could lead to financial distress, and high level of current asset will result in lower productivity of assets and lower profits. As you can see there, when current asset increase, the profitability of company will decrease, but the liquidity will increase. And when current liabilities is increased, profitable of company will increase, but the liquidity will decrease. There are some strategies of working capital. Firstly, different working capital strategy produce different levels of profitability and exposure. Second is firms has production and sales cycles that vary throughout the year. Lastly, the firms need to maintain a certain level of current assets. These are the scenarios when cash shortage, delays of payment to creditors and suppliers, inability to secure materials, low production levels due to lack of materials, and many more, as you can see at the diagrams. Then I will talk about working capital policy. First policy is relaxed. It has a low risk policy. The firms maintains large amount of current assets coupled with liberal credit policy. It has high liquidity and potentially low return from investment due to low productivity of current asset relative to fixed asset. Second policy is restricted. It has a high risk policy. Current asset is reduced to a minimum with a stringent credit policy. Lower investment in current assets. Last policy is moderate. In between relaxed and restricted policy, it will result in moderate risk and return. Investment in current asset at the minimum level. Lastly is types of working capital approach. first is hedging approach. Hedging approach has moderate risk, equal moderate returns. It uses temporary financing to finance temporary current asset and permanent financing to finance permanent assets. The second is aggressive approach. It involves more risk, uses short term to support a large portion of current asset. Current ratio is low. Third is conservative approach. It has the lowest risk. It uses permanent financing to finance the majority of its asset. During low requirements, the firm will invest its excess funds in marketable securities. That's all from me. I hope you understand what I was review and present about those two chapters. Thank you.